How's it going, everyone? My name is Joe Cox, and thank you for tuning in to Joe C. Cox Photo. First and foremost, we do have a new plan for the video. Second, this is going to be an unscripted video. And third, this is going to be covering my personal workflows, so some things included, some things excluded. In case you missed our last video, that was how to import into Adobe Lightroom via memory card. But today is going to be a little bit different. We're going to look at how to import via tethering. So for those of you who don't know, tethering is where you literally plug your camera into your computer and every photo you take immediately goes to your computer. One of the big ups to that is you, instead of looking at that tiny little screen on the back of your camera, you can go instantly into your computer, zoom in, mess around, start editing, do whatever you want. So it is a great feature to know. Alright guys, Joe from the future to give a quick disclaimer on this tethering video. So I'm going to be talking about Sony, Nikon, Canon real quick. So Sony users, this video is going to be pointless for you. The reason being, Sony and Adobe haven't gotten together to allow Sony cameras to tether directly into Adobe Lightroom. I don't know why, but it is the reality. Second, my Nikon users out there, whenever you use a Nikon camera to tether into Adobe Lightroom, your photos will only get saved to the computer. They will not get saved to your Nikon's memory card. Don't know why. Canon users, you guys have the best tier, or you guys have it the best tier. Your camera will save to the memory card as well as the computer. I don't know why it's such a big kind of disparity between all three of the big camera brands there. You'd kind of expect them all to have the same functionality, but they don't. So, very important disclaimer to know. We aren't going to be diving in straight away to Adobe Lightroom. I do want to cover real quick getting our camera connected to our computer. So right now my camera is on. I do have this tethered tools tethering cable that I'm going to plug into my camera, and it is currently plugged into my computer. So this is the last kind of part of the connection between the two. So there again, a camera that is on and a computer that is already plugged into the tethering cable. Then we're going to take this right here and go ahead and just plug it in. You will notice one of the things that it may or may not try and do right now is it might, and because I don't have anything actually on this memory card, it's not even going to try and bring up that import window, so that is great. Quick interruption to the video. Did you know that I also make merch for this channel? So I've got you covered with hoodies, so you can always be looking stylish, and other apparel as well. I've got you covered with coffee cups, so you can always be sipping your favorite drink. I've even got you covered with the wall art, so your home can always be up to speed and comfortable as heck. But there's still so much more to be seen. So not only does your purchase go into supporting this channel and helping others become more educated on photography and videography, but a portion of those proceeds also get donated to the Simplify in America's Fund. So that way, not only are we out here supporting each other, but you and I are also out here supporting the men and women who've served in our armed forces. And that is pretty awesome. So don't forget to go check out that link in the description down below. Go check out the merch page and find something that you absolutely love. Otherwise, guys, I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for all the support and time you've given to this channel. I do appreciate you, but let's get back to your video now. But today, now we are diving into Lightroom. So first thing we're going to do in Lightroom is go up into File. We are going to go down to Tethered Capture, and we are going to hit Start Tethered Capture. And it is going to tell you you need to relaunch to access the tethered capture. So we're going to go ahead and allow it to do that. What it's doing is it is asking, basically it's an emulation or a Rosetta/emulation mode. So that's going to allow you to preview your live view as well as directly import from your computer or from your camera into your computer. But now that we do have Lightroom rebooted, you will notice at the top we do have Rosetta/emulation mode on, so that is great. Now when we go up into File, Tethered Capture, and we hit Start Tethered Capture, it's going to bring up our settings window. So you are just going to fill this out all appropriately, but for instance, we have the session name, Lightroom Tethering Example. The naming of the files is going to be based off the session name, so Lightroom Tethering Example, and then we are going to place it with a sequential sequence. And right now you'll notice that it's starting at 2. We're going to go ahead and change that to 1. So what that means is it's going to start at Lightroom tethering example 1, Lightroom tethering example 2, Lightroom tethering example 3, and so on. Moving further down, you can see that you do have a destination. So currently our location is selected as users, my personal user, my desktop, and that Lightroom sample. It should actually be sample folder. So yep, we do want that. We're going to choose that. And then down at the bottom, we are going to hit OK. Now it will take just a second to detect the camera, but there it goes. And you'll notice you get this nice little pop-up bar down here. And additionally, it moved us into our Lightroom tethering example in this folder down here. We're going to go ahead and close that because that will be covered later. But talking about this bar down low, first thing you will notice is our source, which is the Z6, and our session name, so Lightroom tethering example. Additionally, you do have this little live bar, which when we click will bring up some autofocus tools as well. But you'll notice we are now getting a live preview from camera. If I were to shake that a little bit, you'll notice a little bit of lag on the live view, but it is doing its job. So down here, you do have this autofocus button. If you hit it, it will turn autofocus either on or off, and then you can go to different little autofocus points. So that is always super convenient. Additionally, you can control your shutter, aperture, ISO, and white balance through this. So if we wanted to go off and make that a 1/60th, and we'll go a little bit smaller aperture, and let's go ahead and raise that. And now when we go into autofocus, it should be pulling over autofocus. There it goes. And then we aren't going to mess with any develop settings, but we are going to go ahead and capture our first photo by clicking this big capture button in the bottom right. And then when we do that, you'll notice the photo immediately gets put into our Lightroom catalog. So that is our whole video on tethering today. Super simple stuff, super easy. You do just kind of have to know the steps, but the range of possibilities is endless with it. Thank you for tuning in today. And as always, don't forget to subscribe. I'd hate for you to miss our future information going forward. But I'll catch you next time. Thank you.